All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad that you could join us for this year's annual Crop Hunger Walk celebration. My name is Roberta Smith, and I'm a community engagement specialist with Church World Service. I'm based in North Carolina. And joining me as an MC tonight is Andrew Gifford. Andrew is Community Engagement Manager with Church World Service, and Andrew is based in Columbus, Ohio. So we are so glad that you're here tonight and just want to say welcome to everyone. You know, it's no secret that this has been an incredibly challenging year, but we are so deeply grateful for how all of you have responded with generosity and commitment. So, as we get started, I see that a few people have already dropped in the chat where they are watching from. Please continue to let us know where you're watching from, where you're joining us from, and we would love to see the reach of our amazing crop community. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. So we will go ahead and kick off um, our time together tonight. We have a very special message from our president and CEO, Rick Santos, who will be sharing gratitude and inspiration for all that we've accomplished together. So let's take a moment to hear from Rick now.
I want to say thank you to all the participants in crop hunger walks across this country. There's over 500 walks that we do every year. And you don't know, it's hard for me to express just my deep, deep gratitude and thanks for coming out and making a couple statements. One statement you're saying is hunger issues here in the United States are important to me and we're going to do something about it. The second statement you're saying is hunger issues around the world are important to me and we're going to do something about it. And the third thing that you're saying is we believe in kindness and mercy, and our faith is asking us and telling us, calling us to do this work. So thank you for all that you do.
I actually got to be with Rick when he recorded that message a few months ago at one of the local crop hunger walks, and I will verify he meant every word of it. So we so appreciate everything each and every one of you do, as do our local partners who are joining us today even. So we're excited to spotlight a couple of them. I'm going to introduce one of them right now for you, and we really support some incredible local programs. I would love for you to please welcome Gloria Wallace, who is the board treasurer of EHP Cares, EHP standing for Ecumenical Hunger Program, which is located in Palo Alto, California, and is supported by the Mid-Peninsula Crop Hunger Walk. And she's going to share a little bit about how your efforts are making a difference in their community. Gloria, I'll hand it on over to you.
Thank you very much. I'm the spokesperson today for the Ecumenical Hunger Program in East Palo Alto, right next door to Palo Alto. And we were a recipient of the crop donation, and we also had a small team walking. And of most importance is to thank crop organization, not only for this year's donation, but for the past donations we received, because it's been really helpful with the food assistance. And in case a lot of people may not know, Ecumenical Hunger Program um, assists families in the local Bay Area, South Bay Area, Menlo Park, Palo Alto, East Palo Alto, and we reach out across the Bay and into the Valley. And I won't go into all the reasons why it goes, the reach is so far, but it's there. Um, and I know everybody has been really curious about the shutdown and how it affected us and how we handled the situation. So, just a little history. The government shutdown began October 1st and lasted 40 days until November 13th, if I'm correct. Um, Most people received their supplemental help from SNAP through October. Nothing until the 14th of November when they didn't receive anything at the beginning of the month. So by the middle of October, our clients are getting very nervous because most of our clients are families and they have young children, teenagers, and we know teenagers eat a lot. Um, but they were feeling insecure and they started coming in more often, sort of to stock their pantries and discuss their worries with us. So, but we did also receive new clients because San Mateo County, and which is the county we are in, and Palo Alto, East Palo Alto, Menlo Park, all said if you have any needs, go to the ecumenical hunger program. So we expected an influx of people. We did have an influx, more people signing up for services, but it actually was our existing clients who most of them already received SNAP. And when SNAP disappeared, they were in dire straits for food. And they started coming in instead of once a week, once every 2 weeks, they started coming in 2 or 3 times a week, depending on their needs and the size of their family. So we were there to help them out. But amongst all of this is also so many other programs work didn't receive as many donations. Like Second Harvest in our community is the largest supplier of food to us. And for over 6 years, they have been downsizing the quantity of food they've been giving us. So we are fortunate that we are 100% donor based. We don't accept any government funds. So we've been fortunate enough to be able to keep buying food, but we could not keep food on the shelves. I have been with EHP for over 25 years. I've never seen in the past, as I did this year, shelves empty. We've always had a backup supply, but this year, I don't know, maybe there's 50 shelves. I would say 40 of them by the end of the day would have to be all empty, some with just a few cans on them. So when people come, they receive canned goods, pasta, dry goods like beans, and then we receive fresh fruit and vegetables from Second Harvest mostly, and we supply the meats. Sometimes we get it from Second Harvest, sometimes we don't. But when other agencies run out of food, they send them to us. So we get this little circle. Um, so anyway, we did our best to supply everyone with food. But as I noticed from the other years when I volunteered in the food pantry, we used to give everybody 2 bags of food plus their meat for the holidays, plus fresh produce and maybe 3 bags if they were an extra large family. This year, everybody received 1 bag, 1 bag of beans inside the big grocery bag, but a bag of beans, a bag of pasta. Maybe there was marinara sauce, maybe there wasn't. I mean, it was not as much food as we used to give because we had just been going through so much food um, as supplies out in the area have decreased. This year, we were very, very fortunate to have a donation from a large donor who bought something like 100 hams, which we don't usually have. So, SNAP, I think people have asked, will SNAP, uh, now that it's come back, will we go back to normal? And I think we may go a little bit back to normal, closer to normalcy, but I think as long as now the states and the counties and the cities are receiving less federal government funds for their budget and they're having budget crises, I think we might see a higher need. Um, but it is because of your donation that we've been able to keep buying more food to feed everybody else. And I did a quick calculation on a family of 4 who would be a recipient of SNAP on a good day. Um, they can't have a combined income more than $3,400 a month and or 40,000 annually. And they get however they calculate what your food needs are going to be. SNAP does not say we're going to pay everything. We only will give you 30% of what we calculate. And that runs about $460 a month. So it's not a lot, but it helps them. So we don't know what the future will bring, but we'll keep on trying. And then just to let you know, on a happier note, we had our holiday party for everybody. You know, we have a Santa's house for the kids. They can go shopping in a special place for the parents. And while they're busy, we have young teenagers there helping out, watching the kids. The parents get to go over into a warehouse and start shopping for their kids or what they need for the holidays. And it's really just a fun, joyous occasion for all the children, especially. So, and this year, EHP will remain open until December 23rd, until 5 or 6 o'clock, and sometimes it's later. And we continue just serving our neighbors and keep our fingers crossed for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. We certainly appreciate you joining us tonight and just sharing with us a little bit about the awesome, awesome work that you are doing through the EHP to serve families. I know this year, as I mentioned earlier, has been an incredibly challenging year, especially with the suspension of SNAP benefits. So your organization having a presence in your community, I'm sure, means so much to families who are hungry. And so thank you. We appreciate your partnership. I know you're having to leave early, leave the meeting early tonight. So if anyone has any questions for Gloria, if you will drop them in the chat, we will make sure to get them to her and we'll respond to you. But thanks so much again for joining us, Gloria.
You're welcome. And I'll just stay for another 5 or 10 minutes
Okay.
and because I like to listen to everybody else also.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
Well,
thank you
thank
again for
you.
having us here. It's a great partnership we have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now let's celebrate some amazing individuals. We want to recognize our top 10 online crop hunger walkers, those who went above and beyond in raising funds to fight hunger. And so we have a slide of those names. We're going to start off with Taylor Holbrook from Duchess Interfaith Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you, Taylor. Number 9 is Connie Criswell from Central Ohio Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you, Connie. Jim Dijkstra from Arlington Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you, Jim. Nancy Turner from Kent Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you, Nancy. And Lloyd Lundberg from South DuPage Crop Hunger Walk, I think.
That's it. Yep, South
Thank
DuPage.
you, Lloyd. Thank you, Lloyd. And Diane Murphy from Northwest Connecticut Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you so much, Diane. Marty Prince from Upper Pascack Crop Hunger Walk. Thanks, Marty. Deanne St. Clair from Farmington Hills, West Bloomberg Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you so much, Deanne. Taylor Beard. Thank you, Taylor, from Charlottesville Crop Hunger Walk. And Rick and Sandy Herberg from Charlotte Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you, Rick and Sandy. We really appreciate your incredible dedication to making sure our neighbors locally and globally have something to eat every day. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah, thanks to everyone who did incredible this past year. The need was certainly great, and you all truly stepped up. So we're gonna be having some fun now. So we have time for a quick quiz. So get your thinking caps on. I know it's a little bit late, but you can do it. Well, late for us on the East Coast. But how many local agencies are supported by the Crop Hunger Walk? How many local agencies are supported by the Crop Hunger Walk? And we'll give you guys a couple minutes. We should probably have some Jeopardy music or something. But the options are 958, 615, 1500, 550. We got a lot of votes coming in strong already. We've got about 50% of the people participated. So get your votes in on how much you think. Oh, I see Victoria is asking how much they brought in. A lot of money. How much those top 10 walkers did. I think the top ones raised in the multiple tens of thousands. So they raised a lot of money. It was pretty incredible. You can actually check out on crophungerwalk.org. You'll likely see their names up on the leaderboard. Um, Really incredible stuff. So make sure you put your vote in. We are getting close. 81% participated. There's a couple holdouts. I don't want to go too much longer. I think, Heather, are you going to end the poll? I think you can go ahead and end it, Heather. All right. So let's share the results. All right, everyone. So most people said 1,500. Let's see what the answer is. Drum roll, please. The answer is, in fact, 615. 615. So who let us know in the chat if you got the answer right, because only 10% got the answer right. So 1,500 would be incredible. We'd love to be able to support 1,500 agencies. So if you know groups that aren't doing the crop hunger walk that should be, or you have friends that are in another community that want to do a crop hunger walk, let's get them going. Let's get to that 1,500. All right. And I think it's I will hand it back over to Roberta.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Andrew. All right, so let's move right along. For those of you who are familiar with Crop Hunger Walks, you know that our reach goes far beyond the local communities. We believe at Church World Service that we are a part of the global community. And so we are so honored to have Ever Gillen, who is our CWS country representative from Honduras, who has come tonight to share how your support is transforming lives across Latin America and the Caribbean. So I'll turn it over to Ever. Welcome, Ever.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. I'm going to share a presentation with you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to share some of the work that we do at CWS in Latin America, especially in Guatemala and Honduras. I'm going to talk about two projects that are made possible with the support of Growing Hope Globally, a strategic partner for our organization. Um, but first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Eber Guillén. As you know, I live in Tegucigalpa, and I've been working for CWS since April of 2024. And I'd like to share this photo with you to show that our work changes and saves lives. In this photo, you can see Mrs. Teresa Martinez, who pays for her grandchildren's education by selling her harvest. These changes make me proud to be part of the CWS team. This is our overview that some points that I'm going to share with you today. First, I would like to talk about the current food security situation in Honduras and Guatemala. It's important to know that 5 million people face food insecurity in both countries. This is an emergency situation in both countries. And some key factors associated with this situation are in both countries, the climate change causes extreme weather events such as droughts, floods, and hurricanes. These kind of events reduce agricultural productivity. And in Honduras, for example, at least 70% of the rural population lives in extreme poverty, or in Guatemala, 70% of the population suffers food insecurity, especially in rural and indigenous communities. But how does CWS respond to these challenges, and what is our approach? We emphasize supporting organizations that work with the most vulnerable populations. In these ways, partner organizations can provide technical assistance, training, and resources to produce and using new practices to protect the environment and health. Um, this photo or this image shows the location of the both project in Honduras and Guatemala, en Departamento de Santa Bárbara, en Departamento de Totonicapán, en Guatemala. And in Guatemala, we work with the Cedro Association. This means in Spanish, Coordinadora para el Desarrollo Rural de Occidente. This project began in October of this year and is expected to continue for 5 years, working with more than 300 families in 7 communities. In Honduras, we work with the organization Comisión de Acción Social Menonita, CASM. The project began 2.5 years ago in 3 districts or municipalities, where it supports more than 700 families. In the project led by CASM, the main areas of work are focused on promoting agroecology, promoting the development of rural livelihoods, empowering people to advocate with local governments to improve their living conditions. And these are some of the most important results of the Produce Verde project. For example, we can mention that 80% of the families in the communities now have access to healthy and diversified food. The adoption of new agroecological food productions practices, and increase the participation and leadership of women and young farmers. In the project led by Cedro Association, we hope that the project will contribute to strengthening community organization, agroecological food productions, and training and participation of children who are in school system. And now I would like to share a short video testimonial for Pedro Maldonado from Honduras. He's a participant on the Produce Verde project.
Lo bueno viene de arriba, pero si lo vemos con ojos de amor, de misericordia. Y pues eso fue lo que llegó, con una puerta que se abrió a través de personas trabajando en casa, que llegaron a nuestra comunidad, a nuestra familia. Estando allá en la finca, en la corta de café, me cayó una llamada que llegaban por acá por mi casa que venían con un proyecto. No lo dudé, dije, Dios que me está hablando. Es más, ni vi a la persona que me estaba hablando, dije, Dios que me está hablando. Vine y lo tomé. Y de allí para acá, nosotros hemos venido viendo como la luz clara, como decimos nosotros, ¿verdad? A través de esos proyectos, con el abono terminado, por ejemplo, que ya nosotros ya no gastamos en el químico, lo producimos nosotros el abono, lo implementamos a nuestra finca de cafetal y de ahí cosechamos nuestro café, no compramos por ahí afuera. Lo que nosotros consumimos es cultivado con nuestras propias manos y pues es lo mejor porque no trae químico. He visto que no es necesario viajar a los Estados Unidos, es poner la familia, es poner la vida y abandonar nuestra querida tierra que nosotros podemos superarla. Siempre que voy a hacer algo, le pido la dirección a Dios e invito a las personas a que vean lo que yo estoy haciendo para que ellos también puedan tomar el ejemplo y lo apliquen, para no verlo de una forma egoísta. Si yo tengo algo, quiero compartirlo con todo el mundo.
Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to Pedro's testimony. It's really, really interesting to hear how his life is changed after this project. Finally, I would like to share some conclusions. For example, the food security situation in Honduras in Guatemala is a critical problem. Approaches that combine our ecological, agriculture, community organizational strengthening, nutrition education, and environmental management improve food security and community resilience. And uh, other conclusion is important to say in any project, the participation of women and gender sensitive approach are fundamental pillars for advancing equitable development, and the partnerships with other community organizations and governments ensure long-term sustainability. And thank you so much for this time. These initiatives are more than projects. There are pathways to resilience and equity and sustainable development. Thank you so much for your support in making this vision reality.
Thank you so much, Ever. It's always so inspiring to hear the work that's happening all over the world, and more specifically here in Guatemala. Ever, there was actually a question that came in, and I don't know if you have the answer to it or not, but the question was, is the Guatemalan coffee harvest still being affected by the drought? And I'm unfamiliar with all of that, but I'm hoping you might have a little bit of a sense if that's, and if you don't know, that's totally fine too.
Yes, the climate change is a great gap for the coffee producers in Guatemala. We are in this moment in the new project with Cedro working about this problem to training about how to respond the climate change in this country, because Guatemala has the most of the best coffee in the world.
I would agree. I'm a coffee lover, so I can attest to that. Well, thank you, Ever. If you guys have any other questions, those participating, feel free to drop those in the chat for any of our panelists as we continue forward. But we're going to go ahead and transition over to another celebration. We're going to celebrate our top 10 teams that fundraised online. And before we get started, I wanted to share, because if you noticed in the chat, John dropped in the chat what the amount raised was for those top walkers that we featured before. But for these top 10 teams, they have raised $257,000. So over $250,000 raised by these top 10 teams alone. So really, really incredible stuff. So our first team is Redeemer Lutheran Church at number 10, team captain Connie Criswell of the Central Ohio Crop Hunger Walk. Congrats, Redeemer Lutheran. Next, we want to recognize number 9, Team Kappa, who's led by Gloria Jones for the Charlotte, North Carolina Crop Hunger Walk. And at number 8, we have the Crop 45 team, led by Janie and George Sledge of the Red Bank, New Jersey Crop Hunger Walk. And at number 7, we have Kent First Christian Church from the Kent, Washington Crop Hunger Walk, led by team captain Brenda Barnes. At number 6, we have St. Martin of Tours team, led by team captain David Valson from the Northwest Connecticut Crop Hunger Walk. At number 5, Temple Emmanuel from the Paschack Valley, Upper Paschack Valley Crop Hunger Walk, led by Martin A. Prince. At number 4, we have the Trinity Trekkers from the Arlington, Virginia Crop Hunger Walk, led by Todd Stevater. And number 3, Northfield Community Church, Team NCC, led by team captain Janet Jesse of the North Suburban Chicago, Illinois Crop Hunger Walk. And at number 2, we have Orchard United Methodist Church, led by team captain Diane St. Clair from the Farmington Hills, West Bloomfield, Michigan Crop Hunger Walk. And drum roll, please, everyone, for our number 1 team. I don't know if you can hear my drum roll, but number 1 church was Christ Lutheran Church, team captain Ken Sumlin of the Charlotte, North Carolina Crop Hunger Walk. Congratulations to all of our amazing and incredible teams. You all are the life of our crop hunger walks. You keep them going every year, and you all do incredible work. $250,000 with just those 10 teams, and that is pretty outstanding. So phenomenal job, everyone. And with that, we're going to keep the energy up, and we're going to move on to quiz number 2. So who's ready for another challenge? How many countries in Latin America and the Caribbean does Church World Service have program work? How many countries in Latin America and the Caribbean does Church World Service have program work? Is it 12? Is it 8? Is it 2? Is it 20? All right, we got a lot of respondents. We got about 40% in. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, all right. We're getting close. 70% participated. Seven. All right. Keep going. Keep them coming. Keep the answers coming. We'll give you a couple more minutes. Not in a couple more minutes, a couple more seconds, really. All right, we're at about 79%, 80%. You've got about 5 more seconds, and then I'm going to have my colleague Heather end the poll. So get those answers in, get those answers in. Drum roll, please. Let's close it out, and I'm going to let our colleague Ever, would you share what the final number is? How many countries does Church World Service work in Latin America and the Caribbean?
And the correct answer is 80 countries.
Eight
Eight
countries. All
countries, eight
right.
countries.
Yeah. So if you guessed eight, let us know. We'd love to hear if you were correct. And with that, I'm going to hand it on over to Roberta.
All right. Thanks so much, Andrew. True confession, it was just today that I learned that we have 8 programs in Latin America and Caribbean. So I'm learning along with you. Um, all right, so let's keep it moving. We are so thrilled to highlight another local story of impact. And so we'd like to welcome Tim Nisler. Tim is the Food Pantry Program Director at Friends Indeed, which benefits from the Pasadena, California Crop Hunger Walk. And Tim will share with you how your support is making a real difference in their community. So welcome, Tim. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be with you all. So I've been the program director at Friends and Lead since 2013, and that corresponds to my being involved with the Crop Hunger Walk. I started day one when I got to work here, and I've worked with some amazing people to put on the Pasadena Crop Hunger Walk during this time, and we've had so many people take part. And it's amazing um, because for a couple things, seeing the top 10 teams and the individuals and hearing the stories, people getting out uh, and caring about hunger and caring about their neighbors. I got involved with Friends Indeed as a volunteer first, and it sounds silly, but the reason was hunger is stupid. We can talk about global hunger and that, but here, especially in the United States, we shouldn't have people going to bed hungry. Anyone but kids and seniors. And the people that we serve here at Friends Indeed, I've known a lot of them the whole time I've been here. They're low income, they're fixed income. Some of them are no income, and their situations are not going to change or for the better. And so they come week in and week out to use our food pantry. And one of the great things about the Crop Hunger Walk is getting the support and being able to continue to serve the people here locally that we do, but knowing that we're also supporting globally. What Ever was talking about with his program in the video, that's amazing to know that we can help wherever we live and help each other. That's community on a grand scale. My neighbor is right down the street, but I'll look at it as we're all neighbors, and we all need to work together to fight this. Because the people that come to a lot of our places, they're just like all of us. They've got jobs, they have kids, they're older than me, they're younger. They got to brush their teeth, they have to go to school. They just need a little help. And so the work that Church World Services does and the Crop Hunger Walks do help us be able to do this week in and week out. This year, as has been said before, has been incredibly difficult. for everyone. We are here in Pasadena. We're not. I'm about a mile. If you kind of looked out the window there, about a mile up the road there is Altadena, and so we've had people in our community affected by the fire. They both associated with Friends Indeed and those coming to use our services, and so it's things like that. It's with SNAP benefits being cut, it's with programs being cut, and the need being greater. I think it was Gloria was saying that are people going to keep coming now that they've got their SNAP benefits back? Well, yeah, I think they are because they don't know if there's going to be another situation where they might not get their benefits. And so for all of us that are recipients of the of crop hunger food drives and um, funding helps us be able to do this. We have a motto at Friends Indeed, and it's one that I try to live by as best I can. It's doing together what we cannot do alone. And basically, that's what we do. That's what we do in our communities. That's what we do as walkers. That's what we do in our organizations. All of us right here that are on this tonight, we're doing together what we cannot do alone to help fight hunger and food insecurity and make the lives better a little bit for our communities. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here and keep doing the good work that you do every year when you're walking and you're supporting your community. It means a lot.
Thank you so much, Tim. That was so inspiring and really wonderful to hear. And thank you for those of you participating in the chat, kind of giving a little bit of context for what's been going on in Pasadena, Altadena area. And just thank you to everyone for your support of your local hunger agencies and the wonderful work that they do. I had posed a question, I'm not sure how many of you saw it, to kind of share maybe other ways that you like to be involved in your local hunger agencies. And so I'd encourage you to share that. Like something I like to do with one of the local pantries that my local walk supports is participate in like a holiday gift guide or gift program that they do for the little ones. So let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear that as we continue our celebration. And with that, we're going to move forward with our celebrating. We are really wanting to recognize engagement. How many asks somebody made based on to get their gifts made. So we didn't want to necessarily just recognize the top fundraisers. We wanted to recognize those who asked the most people for donations. And so with that, Heather is going to play a great video that shares our most engaged walkers. I'm just so inspired by those numbers. Even as a fundraiser for CWS, I don't think I asked that many people to give to me. So I just think that is really, really amazing. So congrats to all of you. If some of you are here, great job, because that engagement really makes a huge difference. I know there was one young woman who did fantastic. She was a college student. She just asked everyone she knew. Really, really amazing stuff. So really happy about that. We're going to go ahead and keep moving with our third and final quiz. So Our final quiz is what amount has been given to the local agencies, like the two that we were featured here, so far in 2025? What amount has been given to the local agencies from Crop Hunger Walks so far in 2025? And there's more coming out next week to our local friends. All right, let's see. What do people think so far? Go ahead and get your answers in. We've got about, over half of you have answered already. We've got about 70%. All right, we'll give you about 10 more seconds to get your answers in. You might not need it because the numbers are going up. All righty, let's see. Let's see. We're about 85%. The number's slowing down. Get your last minute guesses in for those of you who haven't done it yet. Let's see, let's see. All right, Heather, let's share what the answer is. All right, for those of you wondering, the answer is $824,000 or $824,097. So incredible stuff. You all have done an amazing job so far. And as I referenced, we keep sending money as we keep getting money from all of you. And so money keeps getting processed. So we're doing tremendous things for neighbors near and far. And we couldn't do it without each and every one of you. So with that, I am going to hand it over to Roberta.
All right, thanks, Andrew. So once again, I am learning with you tonight. So that's the first time I heard that number. So thanks, everyone, for all of the ways that you work to raise funds through the Crop Hunger Walks. You are certainly serving our neighbors across the U.S., and we're so grateful for your hard work. So we want to now celebrate growth and perseverance. We want to first shout out our top five fundraising crop walks in 2025. So drum roll, this is a big deal. So number five, we have Red Bank Crop Hunger Walk in New Jersey. Way to go, Red Bank. We have at number four, Erie County in Pennsylvania. Way to go, Erie County. Number three, we have Grand Canyon Crop Hunger Walk. Thank you so much, Grand Canyon Walkers. And number two, we have Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you so much to all of our folks in Charlotte. Drum roll. And number one, I've already seen a few of our Durham folks online. So number one for 2025 is Durham, North Carolina. Durham has raised more than $220,000, and we are so excited about all of your efforts to feed families in Durham, as well as to support our neighbors across the country and around the world. Thank you, Durham. Thank you, everyone, for your amazing work in supporting the Crop Hunger Walks.
Yeah, and I want to add on there, $800,000 was provided by those five crop hunger walks, and probably more because I know there's some coming in yet for some of these walks. And that top five, two of those top five are very, very close, so those could shift a little bit. So we'll see, but really happy for those five walks. Really amazing stuff. And beyond just the biggest walks, something that we really wanted to acknowledge and recognize this year specifically, we had so many walks that increased by 20%, 30%, 50%, and higher. And that just shows your dedication. You really understood that the need was so tremendous for our neighbors right here in the US, as well as our neighbors, like Ever mentioned, in Guatemala, as well as all over the world. And so just we want to acknowledge all of you for the incredible work you did. And my colleague Heather, again, has a really neat video. And I want you to keep an eye on those numbers as that percentage goes up because it is amazing. incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely incredible. When we started tonight, I mentioned that this has been a challenging year, but it's just been so inspiring to see how communities across the U.S. have just responded to supporting our work. And so we can't say thank you enough to all of you, especially the our walks that went over and above and just increased their income exponentially in some cases. So thank you all so much. So as we wrap up tonight, we're so thrilled to share that together, Crop Hunger Walks raised an incredible 6.5 million dollars this year. So it's because of all of you. That is a true testament to your passion and your commitment. And so we're so grateful to all of you. $6.5 million raised from Crop Burger Walks.
And I just want to echo and remind each of you that 25% of those funds stay right in your communities, supporting the awesome work that we heard tonight, beyond just the global work that we heard from Ever. So thank you so, so much for walking. Thank you for giving and for making a difference because together, as everyone mentioned, we are changing lives. These are real
Absolutely.
people, real people. So thank you so much. And with
Mhm.
that, we're going to conclude our celebration. We thank you all for joining us. Congratulations to everyone that we were able to recognize. Thank you to Gloria, Tim, and Ever for joining us tonight. And yeah,
Thank
so
you.
that's
Thank you
your
to
time.
Heather
Yeah.
for working our controls. And
And I'm going
thank
to
you to
shout out Heather
John
because
for
her walk
answering
was
the.
the one that did the over 500% Kalamazoo Valley. They were incredible. So good job, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And here's to another wonderful year of crop hunger walks next year.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Bye bye.